good morning, and welcome to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Friday, 13th December 2024, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in downtown Scarborough, Tobago. I am Adana Kumbi. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Yes, it is Friday 13th, and a lot of people ascribe negative things on the 13th, Friday 13th. But I tell you what, we are in a jolly, festive, loving, giving, cheerful season. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to spread love, we're going to spread joy, and we're going to continue to give God thanks for life. What a beautiful day to be in the land of the living. There's so many things to celebrate, and we are going to celebrate this morning. So let us forget about all the negative connotation where the Friday 13th is concerned, and let us rejoice and give God thanks for life. There's so many things to be thankful for. We're so happy that you can join us this morning to be a part of our show today. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we really appreciate you adding us to your morning routine. So whether you're having your coffee, you're in your garden, or just getting your day started, we say thank you so much. We appreciate you for having us as part of your day. We have a lovely show lineup for you this morning, but before we get on into all of that, here's your news in 90 seconds. Police in Tobago seized cannabis valued at $396,000 and arrested 2 suspects in a major drug bust on December 11th. Acting on intelligence, officers observed suspicious activity near Lighthouse Road in Crown Point, where one man retrieved a large plastic bag from the beach and placed it in a vehicle. The vehicle was intercepted at Bay Street, Canby, where a search revealed 9.9 kilograms of cannabis concealed in 18 packages. Both suspects, aged 34 and from Canby, were detained. The operation involved multiple units and was led by ACP Sibero with coordination by senior officers. Investigations are ongoing. The Innovative Democratic Alliance, IDA, has opened nominations for prospective candidates to contest the Tobago East and West seats in the upcoming 2025 general elections. At a press conference on Wednesday, the party announced its nomination and screening process will remain open until mid-January 2025. They are inviting anyone interested in representing the party to get in touch. 2 weeks ago, the IDA revealed its intention to contest the two Tobago seats, citing dissatisfaction with how the PNM and the TPP have handled Tobago self-government bills. The party believes that Tobago can achieve the autonomy it seeks under its leadership. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Of course, as we said, it's the festive season. We're heading into, there's so many things happening on the island of Tobago. Of course, so many things involving people here on the island of Tobago, so many things to celebrate. And you know, that last piece of news talking about autonomy, a conversation that will remain relevant in Tobago until satisfaction is met where it is concerned. And so you will obviously continue to hear talks about it in the atmosphere. But today, of course, we just want to talk about celebrating stuff as we head on into the weekend. There's so much to celebrate, but before we get into that, of course, we have to celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. And this morning, of course, we say happy belated birthday to Keno Mackenzie. Keno Mackenzie celebrated yesterday, and we want to say happy birthday to Keno. We appreciate you, and we pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do wish you a happy birthday season. Grace Thomas is next. Also, belated birthday goes out to her. Grace, we say happy belated birthday to you. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. Ashley Lyons is also celebrating, and Ashley, we say happy birthday to you, and we do hope that this season in your life brings you love, joy, peace, and all the happiness you can enjoy. So happy birthday to you. And Felicia Edwards also celebrated a birthday, and we want to say happy belated birthday to you. We do hope that you have a wonderful birthday season, and we pray God's blessings upon your life as you celebrate your birthday this year. So happy birthday to you, Felicia. And Chantel Dillon, this is a happy birthday greeting from your mom, your dad, your friends, and family, with lots of love coming out to you on your birthday. So happy belated birthday to you as well. Hilda Bruce, a special lady, of course, on a special day. Happy belated birthday to you. We do pray God's blessings upon your life as you walk into your birthday season. And I love that bright yellow on you this morning. I hope you continue to smile and shine throughout this birthday season. Renee Campbell Price, my good friend. I want to say happy birthday to you, Renee. I pray God's blessings upon your life. I do hope that you have a wonderful birthday, a wonderful birthday season, and I pray that you do enjoy all the blessings that come with celebrating a birthday. So happy birthday to you as well. And of course, to all of you who are celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, a promotion, a retirement, or maybe a book launch, hint, we do join in the celebration with you this morning. Of course, we want to say thank God for all that you have been able to achieve and accomplish. And remember to include God in your celebration and give him thanks for every single opportunity to celebrate, because not by might nor by power, but by the Spirit of the living God. That is the word of God for you this morning. Remember to include him in all that you do. And I want to say, of course, thank you for staying with us. I know yesterday we had some challenges and we weren't able to broadcast the morning show, and we got so many calls, and I'm so happy and thankful that you see us and that you appreciate us and you look forward to our programming here on the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. And so we thank you, and of course we also celebrate you as well. It is because of you why we are the #1 morning show here on the island of Tobago. So we continue to celebrate. And it's Friday morning. And guess what's happening tonight at 8 p.m.? Yes, episode 2 of The Night Before Christmas. A true Tobago Christmas is taking place tonight. Remember, you have to tune into Tobago Updates Television on our Facebook, YouTube pages, as well as Amplia 102, as we bring to you the joy of Christmas. Who are we speaking with this evening? Well, you have to tune in to know who is going to be on the couch today. Also, you have to call in. Remember, there are prizes to be won. Who is our sponsor for today? What can you win tonight? Another local Tobago vendor, of course, is coming in. And of course, there must be the taste segment. We must be tasting something. And I'm sure you want to know what we're going to be tasting tonight. So join us as we celebrate a true Tobago Christmas here on the island of Tobago, going through the tastings and, of course, rating. Last week, we had some puncher creme from Kathy's Cream, and I'm telling you, it is thebomb.com. So you need to get on to Kathy and get that puncher creme. We also had some pone. We had cassava pone and mixed cassava pone from Double J's Delight, also providing that. So those were our 2 sponsors for last week. And of course, Dominion Appliances sponsoring the giveaway last week. We have a winner who collected her gift card to go to Dominion Appliances and collect whatever item she wants for the cost attached to the gift voucher given to us by Dominion Appliances. So we say thank you to all of our sponsors. And of course, if you want to be a part of this amazing journey, of course, you can contact us to be a part of it all. So we'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. But before we get there, who are we speaking with this morning in studio? Well, I can tell you we're speaking with someone who we must celebrate, a son of the soil of Tobago, a hard worker, and somebody who has brought his dreams to reality and continues to dream and continues to create more realities here on the island of Tobago. We start the conversation by speaking with Mr. Ronaldo John, an author and entrepreneur. There was the book launch of Bago Boy and then the Bago Boy Foundation. We're going to have that conversation to see what brought him to this stage in his life. And I'm sure you want to be a part of that conversation and also to send your congratulations, so you can leave your comments on the live stream. And then we speak with Ricardo Bob. He is the public health inspector, and we're talking about Robinson's Day island-wide cleanup. I'm sure you've seen on social media where there's going to be an island-wide cleanup on Monday, 16th December, and we all want to be a part of that as well. And later on, of course, my boy Marcus Daniel, Mr. Cricket, is coming in, and we're going to be talking all things sports later on the program. So we do hope you could stay with us as we go through the paces this morning. But in the meantime, we have to go for a short break, and we'll be right back. But we need you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back. Oh, hi. Welcome to the night before Christmas, a Tobago Christmas. Tobago Updates Television presents to you a true traditional Tobago Christmas. So here's what we're taking you on a journey every Friday night before Christmas from 8 p.m. Tune in to Tobago Updates Television to get all the traditions of a true Tobago Christmas. So let me talk about a real Tobago Christmas. We're talking about things like bussing bamboo, flying kites, soaking fruits, and don't forget about the punch and creme and setting wine. Talking about that. So tune in every Friday morning on the morning show to make sure you have all the details, because guess what? There is a calling segment where you can win big prizes, and we have so many sponsors on board who have amazing prizes for you, our viewers. Join us on our Facebook or YouTube live stream at Tobago Updates or on Amplia 102.
Share your views on the placement of statues, monuments, and signage in Trinidad and Tobago. The Office of the Prime Minister, through a cabinet-appointed committee, invites the public to share their views on the removal or retention of specific statues, monuments, and signage in public spaces, and suggestions for new statues, monuments, and signage in public spaces. The Tobago public consultation will be held on Wednesday, 11th December 2024 from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Scarborough Library Facility Audio-Visual Room. Written submissions are also being accepted via email, hard copy, or through an online form. For more information, visit the committee's social media pages. All submissions will be considered, so it's time for you to have your say.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. Exciting things happening in the studio this morning. We begin the conversation by speaking with a young man, son of the soil here on the island of Tobago, doing so much work in the background, and of course you're seeing the dreams becoming reality. This morning we start off by speaking with Mr. Ronaldo John. He's now an author, guys. Let's put our hands together for him this morning as we talk Bago Boy. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to you, and good morning to Tobago. Good morning to my family. Good morning to every single Tobagonian that has supported this initiative, that has supported this dream thus far. This dream would have started in 2004. December 2004, I would have launched Rashad, the brand. Rashad, the brand, would actually celebrating 2 decades presently. It could not have been possible without Tobago. It could not have been possible without the support, the investment of Tobago in the life of Bago Boy. Now that we are 20 years, we saw it fit to not just celebrate Rashad, but celebrate the entire island of Tobago. And I want to say to Tobagonians that this book that you see, Bago Boy, it was inspired by the support of Tobago. It was inspired by my patriotism to Tobago. I wanted every Tobagonian to feel a part of this. Because the title on this book today could have been 2 Decades of Rashad. I would consider myself selfish. But I want every Tobagonian to come to be able to look at this and say to themselves that I too can turn my dreams into reality. Because what started as a dream in 2004 became a reality 20 years later. I also want to say to Tobagonians that everywhere that this book would go, it stands as a piece, another reason to come to Tobago. It stands as a marketing tool for Tobagonians. So every Tobagonian should feel proud to be a part of this. The foundation, the Bago Boy Foundation that was founded, is really founded to support sports groups, communities, every village in Tobago. The truth is, every Tobagonian would benefit from this foundation, the initiatives that we would undertake, because you would have a niece, you would have a nephew, you would have a cousin, you would have a brother. Whether directly or indirectly, you would benefit from the initiatives that the foundation would undertake. I wanted to just make that abundantly clear.
And you know, that is so absolutely amazing. And I like the fact that you did not put yourself as the center of the
No.
focus for the book, talking about the Tobago boy, the person who is from Tobago, who can turn their dream into reality. And what I want to do right now is to define what is a Tobago boy through your eyes.
Right. For me, a Tobago boy is a unique individual, because the Tobagonians, we are unique people, right? A Tobago boy is one who understands his identity, understands his culture, understands his history. A Tobago boy is a Tobago boy that wakes up at a young age, very resilient, very artistic. A Tobago boy is one that is very industrious. Growing up in Tobago, I was always involved in agriculture, rearing of sheep and goat, would support my aunts, my grandmother, pulling seine in Black Rock. The Tobago boy identity is a young man that grows up with a difference. There is something about the Tobago boy that stands out from if we consider Tobago the greatest little island in the world, there is something about the boys that are raised in Tobago, and I'm talking about the boys that are well raised, the gentlemen, the boys that understand their identity, understand their dreams, understand that focus, they aspire. And if you looked at the Tobago boys that we would have selected for the Tobago Boy Awards, it is folks like the Chief Justice, Mr. Ivor Archie, the Chief Secretary, Mr. Fali Augustine, the Minority Leader, Mr. Kelvin Morris, and we didn't just keep the focus in folks that would have made more or less achieved in politics. But when you look at Mr. Makoni in agriculture, you're talking self-sustenance, you're talking a man that understands food security, you talk about people like Mr. Lloyd Warner, an entrepreneur, a guy that would have stand out in the eyes of Tobago, and in the eyes of Tobago, Mr. Claude Benoit, Mr. Bertil Sinclair, who would have nurtured so many Tobago boys. Mr. Dwight York, unfortunately, he was unable to be present. He sent his brother Brent, another Tobago boy, to collect his award on his behalf. And Mr. Xavier King in education, Father Phil Isaac, a member of the clergy, and Tobago boys understand the importance of spirituality, the importance of prayer, because when I talk about spirituality, 20 decades could not have been possible without the blessings and the goodness of Almighty God. I could not have been sitting here. You could not have been sitting here without the blessings of Almighty God. And it's the blessings of the Almighty God that has brought us to this journey. I could continue down the Marcel, another inspiration to the island of Tobago, nurturing so many young boys, so many young minds. We look around in the society today, and you go on the blocks, you go in the prison, it's Tobago boys, young black men, with so much giftings, talents, and abilities. And I always say this, every opportunity I'm given, every opportunity I have to speak, I always say this. Dr. Miles Monroe said something very, very profound. He said that the cemetery is the wealthiest place on earth because people die not fulfilling that God-given purpose, that God-given talent. And there are so many young men in Tobago, talented, artistic. When you go around in the island of Tobago, and I think that we should celebrate the designers, the persons in the cottage industry, because sometimes we tend to forget these people and just focus on the what we consider the high ends, right? But we need to come back to that place where we celebrate the plumbers, we celebrate the electricians. And I want to also say that the Tobago Boy Awards would not just stop there. It's something that we want to continue annually. It's something that is a prestigious award that we want young Tobago men to aspire to be selected for. So every annum, we would select a young Tobagonian, a Tobago boy that has excelled in a different sphere. So we aren't just focusing on leadership. We also focusing on folks in agriculture, folks in woodworking, folks in fabricating. We want to celebrate all the spheres. So when you looked at the list, it's a balanced list. There was we also wanted folks that Tobago, the next generation of Tobagonians, the young Tobago boys, could identify with. Faces that you would always see. That some little boy somewhere, whether in the prison, seeing this, that he could say, I could take a page out of Mr. Leacock book. I could take a page out Mr. Lloyd Warner book. I could take a page out the Chief Secretary book. Because all of these men had a dream. And they turned this dream into reality through faith and resilience.
And you know, as you're talking about making it a reality in terms of the young men identifying with the journey. The journey didn't come without challenges.
It came with challenges.
It didn't come without hiccups. So I want you to kind of phrase it in a way where young men can understand it ain't gonna be easy.
No.
But you can achieve. You can. So let's talk about a few of your challenges that you had to rise up and say, I still have to press. Because I'm sure there were times you wanted to give up. You know?
And as you're on that, being in Canby for 16 years, because our first location was at Numero Uno's building. And let me take this opportunity to say thanks to Miss Duke for accommodating us there, right? And we were there for 16 years. And we faced 9 break-ins there. One of those break-ins, the entire store was cleaned. The entire store, they stole every single thing. And I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, do I continue to turn this dream into a reality? Do I continue to be unique? What would happen if this dream that I had as a young boy buckle because some young man somewhere thinks that it's okay to break into my business, steal everything, and leave me with nothing? But as I said before, faith. That faith in Almighty God to know that God would show up at the right appointed time. The resilience. We are resilient people. If we understand how resilient we are as a people in Tobago, that family, that community, the entire community came together that morning. Because I remember that morning vividly. I even remember the vehicle number is TBT 3220. That number would live for me for the rest of my life. But the idea that my dad could come there that morning at 3:25 a.m. and he could call his brother, who was a ACP, Ronaldo John at the time in Trinidad, and he could call Mr. Nurse in Tobago, and Mr. Nurse could now call Mr. I think was Adams at the time at Wassa, because it was a Wassa truck. And then Mr. Adams saying to him, no, the truck is at Jones Motors. And my dad, now being friends with Mr. Jones, called Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones coming out of his bed 4 o'clock in the morning, going to his business place to realize that they stole the truck. But I'm saying all of that, connecting all those dots to say to Tobagonians, we are so family oriented as a people that if we really come together and rally around each other and bring back that love that we once had in Tobago, because we're losing it. And if we lose the essence of who we are as a people, we become like everybody else. There would be nothing unique about us anymore. So the challenges were always there. The challenges of starting a business at age 17, standing behind a counter, 3 years without a salary. The challenges of being there for 3 days, not one customer coming through the door. So sometimes people look at the big picture, and these are the stories that you never hear. These are the background stories that you never hear. That at age 17, my mom could have hold my hand and take me to Miss Duke, and Miss Duke saying, "Where you bring this little boy here? This little boy know anything about business?" But he had a dream. A little boy with a big dream, saying to Miss Duke, "Here is what I want to start a business. I want to," because in high school, when I was in Form 5, I said to my form mistress, Mrs. Carrington James, I would never work in the system. And she thought I was brainwashed. She thought I was crazy. But dreamers are crazy people, because to have a dream and not know how you would navigate the obstacles, because I had no prior experience in entrepreneurship. I had no prior experience in business. If you understand entrepreneurship, there are 3 ways that people become entrepreneurs. One, you have maybe a family, or your parents, your grandparents, they would have a business and you grew up in the business. So you tell yourself that at some point there is something within your DNA that you could now become an entrepreneur. And then the second way people become entrepreneurs is that you wake up one day and you realize that you don't have a job. But the instinct, the resilience to survive, maybe you just start selling something and it's a hit and miss. It works. So you become an entrepreneur. The third way that people become an entrepreneur is that you wake up with a dream and you said, I have to turn this dream into reality. And that's how I became an entrepreneur. I have no university degrees. I have no formal knowledge about entrepreneurship. But what I did, I was blessed by Almighty God to be connected with the Jewish community. And a Jewish rabbi said something very profound to me. He said, Aaron, they call me Aaron. In Tobago, different cultures, they give you aliases. He said, Aaron, I want to say this to you. I want you to study. I want you to master this craft. But not just master this craft, but master this craft in silence. And what we have done for the last 2 decades is master this craft in silence. We have allowed our work to do the talking for us. I would have been silent for the last 20 years. The truth is, the person that I am, the people that know me, know that I don't want to be here. The people that know me know that I don't want to be vocal. But there becomes a time in our lives that there is a call, there is a purpose. When you look around, this call was always on my life to do more, to impact communities, to impact the next generation of Tobago boys. And I had to rise up. And I would say to Tobago that as long as I have breath in this body and strength in these bones, I would fight. I would stand up for the next generation of Tobago boys, because everything we do today as a society would reflect the society that we see tomorrow. I have a son that would come after me, and I want to ensure that we clear the crooked paths, make every crooked path straight in the present now, that we sow seeds today, that he could be able to reap the harvest of those seeds that were sown, because our ancestors would have sown seeds. That's why we are here today. They would have sown seeds of goodness. They would have sown seeds of community. They would have sown seeds of family. And that's what, because growing up in Blackrock, growing up in Buku, my grandmother would have sent me down the road to carry a Hana banana for the neighbor, carry something. That's how we are. And all my both paternal and maternal grandparents, they were merchants. So understanding my identity, I always say to people, my great-grandfather, Samuel Kalinda, he's the founder of the Buku goat race that we boast about, right? Finding that niche. 3 decades later, his grandson now finds a niche, a sanctuary for men. In 2004, I just saw it as a Clark store, but then it evolved into a one-stop men shop. And it's a niche because all the years they were focusing on the women. I also want to say we are an organization that understands the importance of balance, the importance of equality. And we have plans in the very near future to honor the Tobago girls, because we understand as an organization that Tobago boys could not be here without Tobago girls. There must be equality, there must be balance. But we want to put the focus on the Tobago boys now, because when we look around in society, we realize that the ills that are being carried out is carried out by Tobago boys. Yeah.
You know, I am sitting here and I could not interject at all into what you were saying, because everything you're saying is so rich in value. And I really want people, I want to take this opportunity to encourage our viewers, to encourage all of Tobago, anybody has any interest in Tobago, any roots from Tobago, you know, to pay attention to who we are. As you rightfully mentioned, sometimes we lose who we are by trying to become someone else. And I want us to remember our culture is so rich and diverse. And as Ronaldo said, we are so resilient. We can overcome challenges, you know, and become who we really are called to become. So connect with your true Tobago value. Find somebody to partner with. Find somebody who understands your dream, who can, of course, encourage you to grow and develop and to turn your dream into a reality. So very proud this morning to be sitting here with Ronaldo John, now adding author to his title, and of course honoring men from around Tobago, across the island of Tobago, and ensuring that the generation that is coming up can understand that their dreams can also become a reality. Thank you so much for joining us in studio, and of course the very best in all your endeavors. And we at Tobago Updates are making this commitment on behalf of the entire Tobago Updates. We will be a part of this journey with you. We will continue to support you and encourage you. And you know, of course, to ensure we elevate the island of Tobago, the people of Tobago, and the culture of Tobago. So all the best to you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, before I leave, I just wanted to say shout outs to my wife, to my beautiful family, my support system, all the persons. And again, I want to say thank you to Tobago. The book is available in store at Rashad's. Get your copy. There is so many tools that can equip the next generation of entrepreneurs. So I thank you. God bless you.
Of course, an absolute pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, get your copy of the book, and let's continue the conversation to develop the island of Tobago, the minds of Tobagonians, to get us to where we want to be. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. And as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Tobago. Tobago.
Tobago. It's the season of giving.
Giving of your love.
Giving of gifts.
And of course, giving of your service.
And as such, on Monday, 16 December, all THA offices will be closed as the Assembly is conducting an island-wide cleanup.
But it requires all hands on deck. The Chief Secretary, Chief Administrator, Secretaries, area representatives, as well as community leaders will all be in their communities to assist with the cleaning.
So gather your troops, gather your tools, and come out and support this initiative. It's part of building a better community together. It starts with you.
It's the holiday season, and you know, one of the things people love to do is to get the place clean. And through an initiative from our Chief Secretary, Honorable Fali Augustine, the 16th of December 2024 is designated as Cleanup Day in Tobago. So if you have any kind of derelict material, we'll also be collaborating with other divisions, you know, all the divisions, as a matter of fact, all public servants, everybody. We want to participate in this activity. You put your stuff out in front of your home, not by the neighbor's home. We'll come and we'll take it up. Monday is designated for that. We want people to cooperate and really clean up the island. Let's get the camaraderie going, the community spirit going, as we endeavor to keep Tobago really clean. This is actually the cruise ship season as well, so we're having lots of tourists. And what an impression we would give to them that we truly are a clean people.
Ribbon the boy. What shucks?
Hey, Monday the 16th, don't come out. Come on, Monday the 16th. You see me, crew?
We here to celebrate Tobago. These are part of the Tobago Day celebration.
OCS Posse, don't forget to come out and support our cleanup campaign.
Cleanup Day. OCS members, let's go to the community and clean up.
Come out and clean up with the members of the Office of the Chief Secretary.
I ready to move in there. Me and the team information call you come out, right? I ready a little later.
And while we're at it, oh gosh, put all the garbage in the bin now.
Nothing is biodegradable. You have to clean up everything, your white waste, your garbage around your house. We just want Tobago to be a clean space again. You know, Tobago is known for green, clean and serene.
So Crystal, what is that you're saying? On Monday, December the 16th, we do no work?
No work. all THA offices will be closed.
Watch me, that sound like a real plan, you know, because I was planning to go and do some shopping.
Well, I have to bust your bubble. It ain't no shopping day. It's a clean-up day. The THA is conducting an island-wide campaign clean-up.
So this whole thing is about cleaning up?
Trucks coming to clear up the place. So anything that you don't want, just put on the curbside. We're going from Charlottesville to Crown Point to Speyside to Lekito to Calm Bay. Everywhere getting clean out.
Fantastic. Well, I will be there.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Of course, our Christmas time is indeed the most wonderful time of the year. It's the time where we spread joy, love, we talk about peace, harmony, oneness, togetherness. And of course, that's what we are here on the island of Tobago. And on this occasion, we pay special attention to one of our founding fathers here on the island of Tobago, Mr. A.N.R. Robinson. We use his birthday, December 16th, for something very, very special and important. And in studio with me this morning is Mr. Ricardo Bob, Health Inspector, to speak about what is happening on Monday, 16th December. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning and good morning, Tobago. This is a special day, the 16th of December 2024. Massive island-wide cleanup. Matter of fact, the 16th is also my daughter's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday in advance to her as well. A special day indeed.
Day for us. But this is something that we take really seriously. We look around in Tobago and we're seeing a lot of change in the environment in terms of how people are taking care of their surroundings. And so this massive cleanup campaign has been planned to address that and to build some community spirit, to say as the THA, we are concerned about the environment, and especially at the Christmas time, people are in the mood of cleaning. So we want to capitalize on the season when people are out with the old and in with the new, and not just out with the old in terms of the old stuff, but old attitudes, old thoughts, old feelings, and overall new every single thing. Every single thing. And so we have actually divided Tobago into 4 districts. We use the public health districts, and we are going to go into every single one of them. What we want is for the community to participate in, 1, bringing out the stuff, and 2, assisting us in loading those trucks so we can take it all away, so we can have a brand new environment. We have 4 main areas that we are going to fan out from. Windward, we are going to fan out from the Sid Gray Stadium. We have the central area, we're going to fan out from Calder Hall, north side from Moriah, and what we call Leeward from the Signal Hill, Public Health Signal Hill compound. So the trucks are going to be fanning out from there, but folks are expected to be in their communities and assisting, bringing out the stuff, preferably the day before, and on the day to assist in the loading. But remember, it's not just the bulk stuff. We have trash. We have the old bottles and the plastics and so on. CPEP and LEP would be involved in taking those stuff, but you need to assist as well. We have those old galvanized and the old furniture that you have, the white waste as well. Anything that is waste that needs to come out, we want to bring it out. Even if you could brush cut your yard, you know, trim some trees, you know, all those things, we want to just get all the waste out. A brand new attitude heading into 2025.
And you know, you're talking about all of these things, and initially the thought would be, well, white waste, stuff around your yard, but now you're talking about trimming trees, you're talking about brush cutting, heaping up the grass, and bringing everything on the outside, the plastic bottles and all of these things. And as you're speaking, I'm actually seeing a clean Tobago. I'm actually seeing, I don't know what kind of vision I'm getting this morning, but I'm actually seeing you know, the cleanliness of the island of Tobago, which is what we have to go back to. I remember there was a time when I was in primary school, that was many, many years ago, I'm not telling my age there, but many, many years ago, I remember littering was something that was very big. I remember we would get a spanking for littering. You do not litter. There would be poems you would talk about in school about littering and being tidy. Bits of paper lying on the floor, you know, and people are just doing what I see, moving vehicles and things flying out of those vehicles on the side of the street. So when you talk about change attitudes, those are the things we're talking about.
This is an opportunity for change. So along the highways and the roadways, those drains, if you look at them, a lot of them, lots of plastic and so on. Anytime you see this environmental degradation, it is the activity of man.
That's
and
right.
So it is the activity of man to actually improve that situation. And this is what we want to foster and develop and encourage in the Tobago space. We claim to be an island, of clean and green, but sometimes the evidence is not there. Just yesterday, I looked in my own street, right in Calder Hall. Food boxes, bottled water. And so I went out in the community. I would do that almost on a daily basis and pick them up and put them in a bag so the garbage truck can take them. In other words, even after this situation, don't wait and say it's somebody else's responsibility. Because if the workers who actually pick up the trash, if there is no trash, we are going to be able to do so much more in the environment. So we're asking folks to cooperate and support, not just today. And I know people may be wondering, could you do this in one day? Well, with your help, it can be done. And even though there may be some spillover, we have provisions for that as well. So we're asking folks not to just wait until you see the ball rolling, but to cooperate with us. Start putting out your stuff on Sunday evening. Those senior citizens who may not be able to bring it out themselves, young men, help them. Health workers, infrastructure workers, agriculture workers, all hands on deck. There may be some streets or tracks that the trucks can't enter. Bring this stuff out to the main road and it will be removed.
And this is a good weekend to start cleaning up around your environments. I mean, you're getting the help for free. I mean, you have to put your hands on deck, yes, but I mean, it makes it so much easier because I know people will have, as you say, the white waste and they're trying to figure out, oh gosh, when they're passing, how am I going to get rid of this? Now is your opportunity to ensure that you have, you put things in place to get this done. Yes. And now we're talking about, when we look at the ad there that is up on social media, we're talking about all THA offices closing. So that means every single THA worker supposed to have hands on deck, and we expect them to come out.
The work for that day is all hands on deck, and it's one day. Remember, Tobago is our space. Usually I tell my folks, nobody's going to come from Mars or Jupiter to do that for us. We are the ones who have to do it. There's a consciousness that we have been losing, a commitment to our island, the pride in our environment that, I find has been just going away. We need to bring that back, and I believe this is one of the activities that can foster that togetherness, especially in this season of joy when people are supposed to be loving Jesus and, seeking a closer relationship with God, making provisions for their New Year's resolution. So it's a lot of things that can happen, and here's an opportunity to build some fences, build some bridges in the community and in the Tobago space. And
you said that there are 4 central locations where the trucks would be heading out from. And of course, heading into all communities on the island of Tobago. Now, I went to Lands for Me yesterday. Are you all going to Lands for Me as well?
Lands for Me. So we start in the north side, Lands for Me, down to Mason Hall, across to Woodlands, down to Plymouth. That's the north side. And then we have the leeward side from that Plymouth Bridge going back to Chauvin, Bethel, all these areas, down to Crown Point and up to Spring Garden. And central is from Spring Garden, Scarborough, Marysill, all those areas, all the way to Studley Park and back to Mason Hall. And then the windward is from Studley Park all the way up to Charlottesville.
So we have all bases covered.
All bases covered. At least 40 trucks we're going to be having, backhoes, because we're going to have those things. And we are people in the community, especially those side streets. And one of the things we find in Tobago in some areas is that because the streets are narrow, everybody has a vehicle. So they parked indiscriminately. And they make it difficult for us. We are asking you to cooperate. Please move your vehicle. And if you have a small pickup, you can assist somebody in bringing this stuff out to the main road so that we can take it out.
Narrow streets. Because there really are some narrow streets and trying to navigate through there, especially with the bigger trucks.
Yes.
So this is a call for all of Tobago to definitely come on board, to cooperate. I mean, we're making communities clean. Don't you like to see a clean place? I feel as if there's more productivity when your surroundings are clean. You feel better, you breathe better, your health is improved. So I want to encourage everybody to come out with the THA to get the job done and make the place bright and beautiful beautiful for Christmas. Is there any other additional information in terms of what time can we expect to see the trucks moving and going through communities? And let's say, is it from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., 8 to 4? Because it's a working day. So what are the hours we can look for the truck passing through?
We have two categories of workers in the THA. We have daily rated workers and we have monthly rated workers. So normally daily rated workers would start at 7 o'clock and monthly at 8 o'clock generally. So you have 7 to 4 and 8 to 4:15. So it's during the course of that day. So we actually would start at 7 o'clock. It may even be before, because the daily paid guys, they come up before. They are going to be in the environment. The LEP folks and so on, they are going to be in the environment doing their stuff. The trucks are going to start to fan out somewhere between 7:30. And we want to make sure that we have stuff to actually take up. And I just want to leave some contacts, because people may want to call. And these contacts are for the coordinators. Windward is Mr. Dexter Wallace, 751-6630. We have Central, which is Mr. O.J. Alexander. He's with Community Development, 733-86861. In the north side, we have Mr. Sean Aberdeen, 750-5618. In the leeward side, we have Mr. Kurt Clark, 475-1605. And of course, my number is 751-4960. So during the course of the day, if you find that the trucks didn't pass in your area as yet, of course, we can't be everywhere, so it will take some time. Or even if after the fact, one of the things people do is put this stuff out after. So when the campaign is done, they put it out 6 o'clock in the evening, we will come and take it up. You can call any of those numbers in the area, and we are going to come and take this stuff up.
All right, absolutely amazing stuff happening there. And of course, we say thank you so much for coming, bringing the information and the encouragement to people, of course, to be a part of this great initiative. Remember, it is honoring the late A.N.R. Robinson, a founding father of the island of Tobago. And of course, his birthday would have been December 16th. And of course, your daughter's birthday, as you mentioned. And we use this time to honor him and to keep Tobago clean. Where I live, where you live, where your children live, your grandchildren live, let's keep the Tobago space clean. Thank you so much for coming this morning and bringing that information to us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. When we come back, guess who's going to be on set? Yes, Marcus Daniel, Mr. Cricket, and he's going to be talking all things sports. So you want to stay and be a part of that conversation as well. Remember, the night before Christmas, True Tobago Christmas is tonight, 8 p.m. It's a live show, so you have to call in to win big prizes, of course, and be a part of the conversation. And I'm telling you, remember I said I went to Lansome yesterday. Hint, hint, we're going to be talking about that tonight as well. So you want to be a part of that conversation. But in the meantime, I'm asking you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Ho ho! Delta Distributors Christmas special is here. Choose from our special meat packages at unbelievable prices. Ho ho! Perfect for your holiday feasts. Hurry! Limited stocks. Order now. 11 pounds chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey, 1 picnic ham, 1 liter pear jacks, only $500. Ho ho! Order now at deltecdistributors.com. Call or WhatsApp 359-5040 or 237-0102. Only $20 delivery, or come into our main road Argyle store. Ho ho!
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Tobago. Hey, Monday the 16th, don't come out.
We here to celebrate Tobago. These are part of the Tobago Day celebration.
On Monday, 16 December, all THA offices will be closed as the Assembly is conducting an island-wide cleanup.
We want people to cooperate and really clean up the island. You put your stuff out in front of your home, not by the neighbor's home. We'll come and we'll take it up.
And it's happening on Robinson Day, the 16th of December, 2024.
We truly are clean people.
Are you ready to move in there?
Everywhere getting clean out.
Fantastic. Well, I will be there.
Please be advised that the date and venue for the Tobago Day Thanksgiving service have been changed to Thursday, December 19th at the Shaw Park Complex. Start time 9 a.m. Come, give thanks with us as we continue our Tobago Day celebration.
This Christmas, believe in magic. Enjoy our electrifying deals on electronics that'll have you dancing. Only at Standard.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. Of course, welcome back. And of course, season's greetings to you guys. We are what? 11 days away from Christmas Day. Today is Friday, 13th December. And you know, once it's a Friday and it's the 13th, it's considered Black Friday. Yeah, Black Friday. Of course, let me say thank you so much for staying tuned. I know you guys have anxiously been awaiting the start of the sporting segment, and we are into it now. I'm going to jump right into the program. Invite and say good morning to Mr. Earl Gray. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Fantastic. And I'm also told that we have some guests online as well in the virtual space. And we're talking about some football scholarship program this morning. And I hopefully can get the guys on. Mr. Trey Campbell and Mr. Anthony Roy out of the, should I say the Earl Grey Academy?
Gray's Academy.
Gray's Academy. So, Mr. Gray, we're talking this morning. I know last time we spoke, you had this wonderful program where Tobagonians, young Tobagonians footballers, both boys and girls, had the opportunity to be seen by scouts. Of course, scouts coming from the US, and you are here again with the same program.
Yes, with the same program. We bring more scouts in the program now. So we decided it was a success.
Right.
Yeah, so we bring more. Like there was in Trinidad, there was some Caribbean country before, and there was Trinidad for the 10th and 11th. They do basketball this year in Trinidad.
Basketball? So it's not just football, they actually seeking young Tobagonians for basketball as well. Is the same going to be done here in Tobago?
No, just soccer.
Just the football?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that it was a success last time. I mean, gauge success to me.
Well, so far 15 players qualified for the scholarship, but just that the videos, parents is the problem. Like edit the videos and the profile was a major problem now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they say you come to the program, you are identified as a talent, and then you as a parent, you are required to what? Do videos bio
and profile.
And profile. Yeah. Okay, but I mean, suppose there's a situation where some parents really can't put together the information, but you guys really want the talent. Is there a support from you guys that they can assist the parents in getting the videos and the photos and the bios?
Well, we talk to some parents, you see, like, this program, Tobago Live, Sports Live, also does do
big up Tobago Sports Live one time.
Big up.
Yeah. Okay, so that's coming along.
That's coming along. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about this installment now. When are you going to have it and where?
This installment like to be tomorrow, 14th, Speyside Recreation Ground. The time will adjust. Supposed to be from 2 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah, according to the flight arrangement, so push it back to 3.
Oh,
yeah, so there's a problem with the flights.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's coming from Trinidad or
from Trinidad.
Okay.
Go to 5 o'clock. 3 to 5, and Sunday the 15th, Black Rock.
All right, so you're covering both ends. So Speyside tomorrow, who can attend? And I mean, tell me about the age group and all them different things.
The age group is from 12 to 24 years old now.
12 to 24 years of age.
Dealing with the 12-year-old now, mostly like academic scholarship now program that they could start academy at a young age now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so every summer or every Easter, I'm on 2 weeks. To join academy, so from there we get progress.
Okay.
So you join academy now, so you're always senior, so better.
Yeah. So it's an opportunity to join the Grace Academy, and there's an opportunity also that you can be seen by scouts and have an opportunity to play abroad.
Yes.
To play abroad. And I mean, outside of footballing skills, is there any other requirements of a player? I mean, anybody watching this program now, I may want to join should I say screening? Should I say screening?
Yeah, screening.
So players can come from a different club and be screened as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, in terms of like say academics, is that a requirement as well?
No requirement. Just like the player come from a different club that if you get a scholarship to go abroad in that academy,
right?
You still with the club, but you just visiting the academy like off season.
Yeah.
So you're an enrolled listener.
Oh, right. And in terms of signing up and thing, any fee attached for anybody? You can just
well, registration's online.
Right.
$250.
Right.
And then
250 TT.
Yeah, and the day at the event, you walk with a receipt.
You walk with a receipt. Yeah. Okay. So what's the online payment wise? Is it
First bank account.
Oh, and there's I know if the producer can put back up the flyer there so they can see the account number. And is there a number they can call as well to get?
Yeah, Coach Roy and I.
Right. So what's your number?
464 4108. Coach Roy is 94380 48229.
So anyone interested between the ages of 12 and 24, both boys and girls.
Both boys and.
Right. You can show up tomorrow. But you have to be registered before you show up?
Yes.
Okay, so you're registered today?
Yeah, some call and say they might register on the day, but I still just give them a blind, but I can't good excuses that.
Yeah. Is there a cutoff number like you're looking at?
No cutoff period. Just
you can take the whole of Tobago.
Yeah, whole of Tobago.
Fantastic. Any final word before you go?
No, that's it. Just Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. So 3 to 5 tomorrow, and what time in Blackhawk?
10 o'clock.
From 10?
10 to 2.
10 to 2. All right, fine. Folks, we're chatting here with Mr. Earl Green. It's always an opportunity. I mean, you have the talent and you want to be seen by international scouts, have the opportunity to go out there and try to earn a living playing the sport of football. Chat about tomorrow in Speyside for those living on that side of Tobago. And if you're not interested in driving up tomorrow, you can jump down to Blackhawk on Sunday. And you can go both days. You can do both days. But you have to pay $250 twice.
For both days,
All right, fantastic. So yeah, shout out to Mr. Earl Green. I'm going to share the flyer as well. Tobago Updates will share the flyer so you can make payments online to Mr. Earl Green. First Citizens Bank, account number 1212361. Account number again 1212361. Thank you so much, Mr. Gray, for being here this morning, and I wish you all the best for the season.
Thank you.
And of course, come back again when you see fit.
No problem.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with some tennis. Yes. Don't forget to share the live. Share the live. Share the live.
Unwrap the magic of Christmas and have the best Christmas ever with a Christmas Wishes loan from Bethel Credit Union.
Up to $20,000 can be yours, so you can take care of all those Christmas expenses. You could even pay off all your debts and your credit card.
Come on down to where we make wishes come through, because we see you
at BCU.
Visit any of our offices today at 31 Bethlehem Road, Bethel, Tobago, or Mount Mary, Lower Scarborough, Tobago.
You can contact us at 639-8226-660-7358 or 631-1336.
Normal lending criteria apply. Think, plan, save with Bethel Credit Union.
Because we see you at BCU. We see you at BCU. Come on down, get a loan or two, cause we see you this Christmas at BCU.
Are you thinking about spending Christmas in Tobago? Well, call us at Thorns Place. We are located at the hills of Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port, with rooms starting at 200 TT. Call us now at 745-7306 or 682-8676. Follow us on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram. Message us on WhatsApp at Thorns Place. Your Christmas in Tobago will be even more special.
It's the season of unforgettable, magical moments together. A song that reminds us of how our love blossomed. The warm, comforting smell of Christmas Day that brings us together. That feeling of comfort when our loved ones see the magic happening before their eyes. This Christmas, Believe in magic. Only at Standard.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Springs. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hi viewers, welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned to Tobago Updates Television. I'm jumping into some news of tennis here, and I have two talented young men said to me here, Luca Denoon and Jalen Chapman. Good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
Fantastic, and thank you so much for being here this morning. So we're talking RBC Tobago Junior Tennis Tournament, and it's taking place from tomorrow at the Shop Park Hard Courts, yeah?
Yeah.
Shop Park Hard Courts, right. So this is, you are Jalen Chapman, and this is Luca Denoon. Right, tell me about the tournament. Are you guys ready to represent Tobago? Because I'm sure that we're gonna have folks from Trinidad coming to compete as well.
Yeah.
Right, which age group are you guys competing in?
Right, we're competing in under 18s. This is actually our last year, so we're trying to perform my best in this upcoming tournament. Yeah.
Right, so you are under 18 as well?
Yeah.
So like in terms of ranking in Trinidad and Tobago, where are you guys ranking?
Well, Luca, he is number 1 or 2.
What?
I'm not sure.
Luca, yeah. Big player? What number?
7 or something like that.
So Luca, you are expected to win, right? You are like the number 1 ranked in Trinidad and Tobago?
They know about that, but somewhere up there.
You're somewhere up there.
Yeah.
So you are expected to compete and actually win in this event.
I hope so.
And you hope so. So tell me about the preparations heading into this tournament.
Last week, since school finished, we have decided to put more focus on training during the day, so we could get accustomed to the sun, the temperature, the heat, the sun,
right?
And just so we had that stamina to get accustomed to it, because hours you'll be playing on the court sometimes. Right. Yeah, and it's difficult sometimes. So yeah.
So and tell me about the format, Luca. Is it like what? Elimination, or you have to go through a group stage? And
well, most of the time we go through a group stage, depending on the draw size in the tournament, the number of players in the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. And who are you concerned about any particular player in the competition? You're not concerned at all. You're just gonna do your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's Shop Park. Shop Park is like a good hunting ground for you. You're accustomed winning titles at Shop Park.
Yeah, that is the home ground.
Right.
So.
And in terms of support from the public, I mean, you guys are accustomed getting that support from the Tobago public, or you are asking for support for this particular one? Look like a silent assassin in a way. Yeah, how much words and things, but you look at a dangerous player. But Chapman, I mean, how confident are you heading into the tournament?
Pretty confident, to be fair. I've been training hard, coming out, working on certain things, my game, games that I believe, things in my game that I believe would put me at an advantage. Luca, he'll be a tough opponent to play, but I'm excited to
play. So you're going to be playing against Luca as well?
I beat him last year.
And what, you are lefty? Which left? Both. Right. And which school are you guys attending?
Right now I'm in Bishops.
And
I'm in Signal.
You're in Signal Hill.
Yeah.
And in terms of players, can you give me a ballpark of how many players are expected to attend this tournament over the weekend?
For the under 18s, I'm not sure. It should be probably a full draw, a 2-2,
right?
Hopefully, but it wouldn't really bother me. Whoever come, I'll do my best to win, and yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of this season itself, you guys have played in any other tournaments, and tell me about the results of those tournaments you participated in.
Earlier in the year, I haven't played that much tournaments this year, to be fair. But earlier in the year, we've played in a few ITFs. I only played in 2.
Right.
One of them was going good. Didn't make it past the 3rd round.
Luca beat you?
No. Yeah, but I was going well. The second one wasn't so well, but we're still pushing and training hard because you never know what opportunities will present itself. You know?
So Luca is your biggest threat tomorrow?
I won't say biggest threat.
Yeah,
I don't want to see him cocky either.
Yeah, that's the so and we have players from Trinidad coming across as well to participate. Anybody from outside Trinidad and Tobago, or is just Trinidad and Tobago athletes?
I think TAV would have some athletes from Antigua. I'm not sure how many. I'm not sure if any would be playing in under 18s, but we'll be excited to see them and play.
Right. And what's at stake in this tournament, Luca, in terms of, let me say, are there points in terms of your rankings to improve and all these different things? What's at stake?
Well, as I said, this also we lost tournament because we turning 90 next year. So this.
And what does that mean when you turn 19? What, you go a pro? Well, not pro, but I mean, you are a senior. Yeah. You're no a senior. I mean, are you hopeful of becoming an international tennis player? Because I know your dad is a coach. I ain't want to call his name, but I know your dad is a coach, and I'm sure that's your aspiration of becoming an international player.
Well, I hope to become an international player. Yes.
And do you have a particular player that you look up to?
Myself.
Wow, I like that. So you don't model yourself off any international player at this time?
No.
Okay, and what would you say is your strength? Your backhand, your forehand, what?
Well, I mean, really have any weaknesses.
Yeah, no.
Such.
Well, is that real G, boy? He's woman. So tell me. I mean, let me call out Tobago tomorrow. When the tournament starts tomorrow and ends when?
Ends on Friday.
Next Friday?
Yeah.
So tell Tobago times and I mean you wanted to come and support Elena. Tell me about times and the rungs and all these different things. What time you start tomorrow and the days?
Usually it starts at 9 in the morning. Depends on how play goes, if like the weather. But most times with how I believe this tournament would be not so much tournament, but play should go no more than 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay. And it's actually free to members of the public as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Any final words before you go? But I know Luca have none. But you can tell me.
I'm just excited. You know, as Luca keeps saying, is our last junior tournament.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can make the most out of it, and after we keep pushing, training, and it never stops.
Fantastic. I want to wish you guys all the best, and I'm coming to see Luca tomorrow. I'm hoping that your game is as strong as what you have been saying here this morning, right? Right, Luca? He does well talk. Oh, you shy this morning? I know them kind of people, boy. But Luca and Jalen, thank you guys so much for being here this morning. I wish you guys all the best. So, folks, get down there at the Shaw Park Hard Courts from the 14th to the 19th. Yes, it's all junior tennis. RBC, sponsored by RBC. Big up RBC one time. RBC Junior Tobago Junior Tennis Tournament, boys and girls under 10, under 12, under 14, and under 18. I mean, last time for Luca and Jalen in this age group. Wish you guys all the best, right?
Yes.
Season's greetings as well.
Yes.
All right, guys, you're going to take a short break. When you come back, you don't want to miss the next interview here, You don't want to miss the next interview. We're talking to Shak Moore, the Shak Moore Classic, taking place tomorrow. In fact, over the weekend. Take a short break and come back. Don't forget to share the live, share the live, share the live.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With Amplia TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with Amplia's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With Amplia, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. Amplia. Do more, live more.
Share your views on the placement of statues, monuments, and signage in Trinidad and Tobago. The Office of the Prime Minister, through a cabinet-appointed committee, invites the public to share their views on the removal or retention of specific statues, monuments, and signage in public spaces, and suggestions for new statues, monuments, and signage in public spaces. The the Tobago public consultation will be held on Wednesday 11th December 2024 from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Scarborough Library Facility Audiovisual Room. Written submissions are also being accepted via email, hard copy, or through an online form. For more information, visit the committee's social media pages. All submissions will be considered, so it's time for you to have your say.
Ho ho! Delta Distributors Christmas special is here. Choose from our special meat packages at unbelievable prices. Ho ho! Perfect for your holiday feasts. Hurry! Limited stocks. Order now. 11 pounds chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey, 1 picnic ham, 1 liter pear jacks, only $500. Ho ho! Order now at deltechdistributors.com. Call or WhatsApp 359-5040 or 237-0102. Only $20 delivery or come into our main road Argyle store. Ho ho!
This Christmas, believe in magic. Enjoy our electrifying deals on electronics that'll have you dancing. Only at Standard.
Get ready for the most magical event of the season. The Tobago Gospel Promoters proudly presents Christmas Village. Christmas Village. Everything Christmas at the Scarborough Esplanade, Tobago. From the 18th to the 21st of December, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily. 4 nights of live entertainment. Los Cantantes de Jesus. And from Tobago, El Corazon de Parang, Blessed Messenger, Janex, Vision Pier, choirs, steel bands, and dance from across Tobago, and our featured drama production. It's a Christmas production you don't want to miss. From toys to curtains, wines, ginger beer, cake, and a kids zone. 4 days of everything Christmas. For all interested vendors, please contact 392-4060. And for general information on Christmas Village, 786-8736.
We coming together, me and my family, we eating together, me and my family.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hi guys, welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned to Tobago Updates Television. Yeah, we're in overtime this morning. Just apologizing to Natalie, but it wasn't my fault. But down to the final one in the sporting segment this morning, and I'm actually pleased to be in the company of royalty this morning. Mr. Shak Moore in the studio with us, and of course Mr. Nicholas Goddard. And we're talking about the Shak Moore Classic. Good morning to you guys and season's greetings.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, fantastic. And we're talking about the Shak Moore Tobago Classic. I mean, you guys are into the 4th installment of the event. Tell me about preparations and when it's going to be held this year and where.
Yeah, the Shak Moore Youth Classic taking place this weekend. We're very excited about it. We have a lot of different teams from throughout the Caribbean, and should be a good event for the kids, give them a little bit of exposure and just playing against different styles of play and really just, exposing the kids to a different level of football. So we're really excited and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and tell me, just give me like an overview of the tournament itself. I mean, the brainchild behind the event as well. Tell me about, the purpose of having this tournament held in Tobago, because you mentioned you have teams from the Caribbean as well. And then I will get to the point where you are from Tobago, but some persons may not know that you are from Tobago. They may have heard about your dad, Wendell Moore, representing Trinidad and Tobago, and you are Shak Moore, playing in the United States. Yeah, of course you play MLS as well, right? And you are back in Tobago doing this event. So give me just a brief overview of the event itself and the purpose.
Well, basically the main purpose is just to kind of put, Tobago on the map and help other kids. Obviously we know, having roots in Tobago, sometimes the challenges of, having different sporting events and different stuff like that. So we want to just start to give the kids a platform to just start to play and, get better. Obviously, that's important. The more you play, the more, more tournaments you play, the more, different opponents that you play, that can only that can only help. So we're just trying to, help out the kids and then, take it from there.
Yeah,
Anything
I mean,
on that on that?
and the 4 years, this is the fourth year Goddard, right? And I'm sure that with your involvement in the MLS, and I'm sure that the idea here is to get other players from Tobago, just like yourself, out there representing and trying to make a career out of football. In the 3 years, I mean, any player that you have taken across there are currently doing well?
So what we do normally is Mr. Wendell Moore, his dad, usually. So I've benefited from it just to see him where played here, from here. Wendell organized some scouts to come down, look at me, that kind of stuff, and went out, right? With the age groups that we have right now, we are more looking at boarding schools. So we will be looking at a few players that we can potentially get into boarding schools in Georgia, Florida, and Connecticut. So hopefully at the end of the tournament we see some talent that we can put in front of some coaches at the high school level and then potentially college and professionally at the end of the day.
Yeah, and Shak, I mean, I'm sure over the years that you have had the tournament, you have seen immense talent here in Tobago, and compare the talent that we have here to what you are exposed to across there.
Yeah, the talent is here, man. Obviously, it's just kind of just putting them in front of eyes that they can be seen. Sometimes it's hard to kind of play when you really don't really have a direction or little, what I'm saying, goals. So I think the talent is there. Obviously, we just want to keep on pushing them, keep on encouraging them to play, keep on helping them to improve, and hopefully the opportunities come for them, whoever level kind of corresponds with them.
Yeah, and let's get into the tournament, 14th to the 16th. Tell me about venue and I mean the teams that you have from outside Trinidad and Tobago coming in as well.
So we have a team from St. Lucia, 2 teams from Jamaica. One of the Jamaican teams are defending champions at I think the U12 age group. Had a female player from the team that played amongst the boys.
What?
Really good too, She won age group MVP and best defender, just the same, right? So we were supposed to have a team from Barbados. They pulled out, I think, at the last minute. But lots of talent, lots of teams from Trinidad, just the same. Unfortunately, this year we only have, I believe, 3 teams from Tobago within the tournament. But again, the aim, just the same, is to expose our talent here to the foreign talents, so that we see that there is a different level that they need to get at. Because we definitely have the raw natural talent, but then there is a gap that we just have, a little gap that we have to bridge.
And where's it going to be held?
We are going to be at Shore Park and at Bishop's High School's Drunk. Right. Bishop's was very generous to donate the field space to us at no cost. Right. We're thankful to Bishop's, my alma mater, so I went to Bishop's right, and Shore Park just the same through the Tobago House of Assembly. We're very grateful for them to make it available after we had to pivot from the Dwight York Stadium because it's closed. But we're at Bishop's and Shore Park at 8 a.m.
Oh, so from 8 to until?
8 a.m. till about 5-ish. We're trying, because there's no lights at Bishop's, we're trying to get out of there early. And at Shore Park, we're still trying, because there's going to be 2 age groups there, we're trying to get everything wrapped up at around 5 so that we don't necessarily have to use the lights.
Yeah, and in terms of prizes, are they paying for prizes or trophies and medals?
At every age group, trophies and medals, and then there's a first prize for first, second, and third, just the same. I think we're breaking it down at 7,000 TT, 5,000, 3,000. First prize obviously is 7,000. There are some little knickknacks that we would give to the best player,
MVP, best goalkeeper, that kind of stuff, boots that we're giving away to the kids as well.
Fantastic.
Just like this little incentive for them to, like I said, if you have something to kind of play towards, it's just better for everyone, more competitive, and you get the best out of the tournament.
And you have autograph signed by you as well.
Yes, sir. That too, little posters and stuff too.
Definitely would have a signing session.
Also,
so that everyone can get.
And registration still open?
No, registration has closed. We're trying not to be last minute with it, so registration has closed. We're in the process of finalizing the hard schedule right now, working on it, and then we'll get that distributed to the coaches and teams by the end of the day.
You think the time of the year hampered more participation from Tobago?
For some of the Tobago teams, yes. I believe some kids might have traveled down to Trinidad.
Right.
Some clubs might have maybe gotten the message a little too late, right? And yeah, it hampered it a bit, right? On our end, we could have done a little better just the same, but it happens.
And just before we go, I mean, I can't allow you guys to go without actually Shak. I'm sure persons are asking, "Who is Shak Moore boy?" Just give me a little background of Shak Moore and where you are now.
Yeah, I'm Shak Moore. I obviously play professional soccer, football. Started my career in Spain. Bounced around a little bit, then just recently moved to MLS 2 years ago in Nashville. So that's kind of my story. Came from a very footballing background. My father, Wendell Moore, from Tobago, Bethel. He always make sure to big that up. Very footballing background, very helped us a lot, and so we just wanted to come here and just show love to the city and make sure that they know us. If he can make it, we all can kind of make it together. So we just kind of lending our helping hand to the community, and I'll take it from there.
Yeah, and I'm told that your brother is also on the cuffs of signing a big contract as well.
Yeah, my brother Tyrell Moore. Maybe some have heard of it. He's on the youth teams here in TNT, trying to make his way as well. So we all kind of coming up the pipeline, kind of trying to make our way. He knows he has to work hard, just like everyone else. Like I always tell him. So he knows the work. Work is just starting, and it's hard to get there, but it's harder to even stay there.
Fantastic. And before you go, I can't let you go without the beginning of VC. We see. I mean, I'm very much thankful for VC for organizing this interview as well, because he always passes on the information where Shak Moore Academy is concerned. So big up to VC. And I want to wish you guys all the best in the competition, the 14th to the 16th at Shaw Park and also at Bishops. And I'm hoping that a Tobago team ends up winning the age groups under 10, under 12, under 14.
Defending champions, Ball Blasters they're returning to big up to 30 just the same. Defend their title. Also.
And of course, we welcome all the visiting teams as well. I mean, keep doing what you guys are doing for the youngsters here in Tobago. We appreciate it here in Tobago, and of course at Tobago Updates. This brings me to an end. The sporting segment. Thank you guys so much for being here. All the best for the season as well. Yes, viewers, 8:21. Longer than expected, but thank you guys for staying tuned. Again, have a Merry Christmas, and a happy New Year. I'm going to show you guys over to Natalie for Good Morning Tobago. Don't forget to share the live.
To be on a stable footing in order to help anyone else. So there are two things I would like us to be very mindful of as we go along in our day-to-day lives. And the first one is taking some time to yourself. You need to rest, you need to reflect, you need to plan, you need to re-strategize, and you need to know how you are going to go again. And the second one is one that most men find very difficult to do, and that is ask for help. Now, persons asking you for help is not an opportunity to put them down, but an opportunity to build them up.
What are some of the approaches that we could take to help treat with or not even get into a state of mental illness?
Involving yourself in a positive lifestyle. You see, we cannot
eliminate risk. Everybody with me? We cannot eliminate risk, but we could reduce risk. And we could reduce risk by how we live, by the choices we make. Other than that, exercise. Exercise is important. Physical exercise is important because exercise helps the body produce something called endorphins, and endorphins are natural antidepressants.
Every decision you make is going to take your life down a particular road. If you make a bad decision, it will take your life down a bad road. If you take a good decision, it will take your life down a good road. So whenever you make a bad decision, your only recourse is to make a better decision than that bad decision. Decisions take you there, and decisions take you out.
Very informative. I must say that there's not enough forums for men to deal with like mental fitness, right? As men, you know, we tend to go through different trials, whether it's business-wise or family-wise, and we doesn't have enough forums to really strengthen men to know how to deal with different situations and circumstances. So this really sort of, for me, I really appreciate the mental fitness. I learned a lot from it.
I think that the program was good. I particularly enjoyed the mental fitness segment. I think it's very important for men to have that acknowledgement that sometimes they could go through difficult moments, and that they should be equipped with the skills to be able to deal with the pressures that come along with the difficulties that happens in life.
We might need to do this more than just once per year as we bring together our men, remembering, if nothing else, we form a critical part and foundation, whether it be in our families, whether it be in our homes, the workplaces, wheresoever we operate. And whether recognized or not, I don't want us to ever forget that foundation for the importance of setting the right examples in the lives of our children, in the lives of our families, and as I mentioned as well, wherever you may have that kind of influence as a man.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Morning as the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me, together we stronger. Good morning Tobago. Good morning Tobago. Good morning Tobago.
Good morning, viewers. I am Natalie Seeley Richardson, your host this morning on GMT Good Morning Tobago, and thank you for staying with us. I know Marcus apologized to me, but no need to apologize, Marcus. You're already forgiven because I know it's not your fault. And I'm so happy that our viewers have stayed with us this morning as we get into it. So now for your news in 90 seconds for Friday, 13th December 2024. Police in Tobago seized the cannabis valued at $396,000 and arrested 2 suspects in a major drug bust on December 11th. Acting on intelligence, officers observed suspicious activity near Lighthouse Road, Crown Point, where one man retrieved a large black plastic bag from the beach and placed it in a vehicle. The vehicle was intercepted at Bay Street, Canby, where a search revealed 9.9 kilograms of cannabis concealed in 18 packages. Both suspects, aged 34 and from Canby, were detained. The operation involved multiple units and was led by ACP Subero, with coordination by senior officers. Investigations are ongoing. The Innovative Democratic Alliance has opened nominations for prospective candidates to contest the Tobago East and West seats in the upcoming 2025 general elections. At a press conference on Wednesday, the party announced that its nomination and screening process will remain open until mid-January 2025. They are inviting anyone interested in representing the party to get in touch. 2 weeks ago, the IDA revealed its intention to contest the Tobago seats, citing dissatisfaction with how the PNM and the TPP have handled the Tobago self-government bills. The party believes that Tobago can achieve the autonomy it seeks under its leadership. And that was your news in 90 seconds. And of course, we go straight to our guest in studio. Joining me this morning is Mr. Watson Duke, political leader of the PDP, Progressive Democratic Patriots. And we will be talking, of course, what happened earlier this week in Parliament. We'll talk briefly about the rejected Tobago autonomy bill, or rather the amendment, all right, to the Constitution. And of course, we talk about the other issues surrounding it. So good morning, Mr. Duke.
Good morning, ma'am.
And of course, welcome to on the set this morning. And we'll get right into it, Mr. Duke. I know you would have come with your point of view and the points you want to share. But even before you get to maybe what you have on your agenda, I want us to look at the definition of internal self-government. How would you define that? And do you think that Tobagonians, not even Tobagonians, because Trinbagonians really understand what Tobago is asking for?
Well, internal self-government is a mixed up word. Self-government is governance of oneself. So internal self-government speaks to a type of political status. So it says to the listener that there is someone who is bigger than me, and I'm asking them for permission to govern myself within their parameters.
Right.
Again, let me repeat that. You are saying to the listener that there's a power, there's a governance structure that is bigger than me. And I'm asking that government structure to govern myself within their parameters.
Right.
That is internal self-government. In a real case, it's Trinidad. It's Trinidad and Tobago. There's no place called Trinidad.
Right.
There's Trinidad and Tobago, the country, that has the governance structure. And Tobago is therefore excised from Trinidad and Tobago and called a ward. And the ward Tobago is asking Trinidad, give us some rights so we can govern ourselves within the country Trinidad and Tobago. It's an oxymoron, it's an abnormality. It really is the lowest form of governance. A little better than slavery.
And it's interesting that you should mention that there's no country named Trinidad. And I remember, being a university student abroad, every time I'm coming home to Trinidad, I will just write, whatever, and I'll just write Trinidad. And I remember one particular immigration officer was very irate, and he, some of them are very zealous with their job. And he's like, what is this? What is this? It's Trinidad and Tobago.
That's right.
And from then on, I could never, ever just write Trinidad or Tobago alone because, it resonated with me.
Yeah.
Really, the country is Trinidad and Tobago. If we're talking about an island, then we can say the island of Trinidad, the island of Tobago. But do you think people really understand what internal self-government is? And just in general, what Tobago is asking for? Because I hear a lot of comments, especially coming from Trinidad. And, every time we discuss internal self-government, you hear, they want to be on their own, let them go, they can't survive. And, that kind of, and I wonder if people really understand what internal self-government for and what the people of Tobago are asking for.
Right. Internal self-government is a choice. And I don't think Trinidadians understand the term, and Tobagonians, we do not understand the term.
Okay.
Right? It is a choice that a people who were under colonial subjugation, they have to make that choice. But the choice is not the only choice. There are two other choices. There's the choice of independence. Tobago can be independent by law. That's based on international standards. Tobago can also have an association with Trinidad, which is also by their own choice. We can have autonomy. Autonomy is a choice. Autonomy can be broken down into internal self-government. It can be broken down to a federal system. All these are forms of what we call autonomy.
Right.
But separate and apart from autonomy, there is independence, which is a very admirable thing. There's also association, which is Tobago is independent, and the country it chooses to associate with is also an independent country. But they say, let's share borders, let's share economic zones, let's share laws. The European Union is a bunch of European countries that come together and say, let us minimize the differences, let's form laws. So they form laws for the European Union that covers everyone who agrees to it.
Okay.
If your country do not accept that law, it is not enforced upon you. They share currency, they share security. That's an association. The Eastern Caribbean states, they have an association.
Right.
They're all independent, they have their own judicial, legal governance system. But when coming to the dollar, they share the dollar and some level of security, I guess. So we can explore that with Trinidad. But since the talk came up in 1977 with the motion for self-government, moved by A.N.R. Robinson, seconded by Dr. Winston Murray. Since that moment, the idea has been for internal self-government, and that is a sham. It's a betrayal of our people. Nobody in Tobago has come together and said, we want that. They are very skilled in smartmanism and skullduggery. They go into a room with 10 or 20 people, claim it's a consultation, and then say this.
Who goes into the room with 10 or 20 people? Who are you speaking about?
Those people who hold themselves are having consultation on the issue.
Okay.
Right? When you look at the statistics on the government page, it's about 1,300 persons they would have interviewed. Right? And they have emails coming in from a few hundred. That does not represent Tobago. These are serious life-changing issues. And therefore, what we need to have, when we speak of internal self-government or independence or association, we need to have a campaign where each of the three issues are presented, their merits and the demerits, the plus and the drawbacks, and allow persons to ask questions, to choose. But you only choose by voting. Every single one must know this date.
Okay.
We vote for one out of the three positions. And where you drop a stop, where you hang a swing, they have chosen.
But who facilitates that? Does the law facilitate that in its current form for that to be done?
Lovely question. This is what the law ought to say. Now, currently, the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2021, that's the bill that failed.
Right.
The Tobago Self-Government Bill that passed, but it lacks the supporting legal framework in which you can operate.
Right.
Right? So everything collapsed. Therefore, let's say that Tobago House of Assembly ought to go to Trinidad and say, all we want from you is a framework by which we can conduct our own self-determination. We want you to put in the Constitution the framework for our self-determination. And they have the framework, but the framework is in an infantile stage called the preamble. So in the preamble of that Constitutional Amendment Bill 2021, it states that there shall be equality between Trinidad and Tobago. They acknowledge that.
Right. But the preamble, does that hold any legal weight?
No, it doesn't. So I'm coming to that.
Right.
So, and the second part of it also states that Trinidad will have self-determination and Tobago will have self-determination.
Mhm.
And they spell out what self-determination is, which is to freely pursue, without any external pressures, to pursue its own political status, and there are three: independent, autonomy, and
Right.
association,
Mhm.
and to freely pursue its economic, social, and cultural development.
Right.
Those are things there. But the preamble is the story before the story.
Yeah.
The preamble is the snapshot of what's coming.
Mhm.
In the body of the material, let me put it this way, in the body of the real section that gives life to the Constitution, life to the THA, there is nothing.
Right.
There is not a smell or shred of self-determination. So that's my problem. And all I want the government to do is to just give us self-determination, give us that right. And the right, they can state how the right operates. The right shall be done through a referendum where it will take about 2 years of consultation and 1 day of decision. You can't rush this.
Mhm.
This is not a 1 month, 2 weeks thing.
But
This
Mr.
is
Duke,
a 2 years business.
right, so this has been going on from ever since. And yes, you're proposing in terms of how the law can facilitate in the future that referendum to having that vote. And the government, but no sitting government has even facilitated the request of internal self-government and the bills or the ideas that were constructed on the island and presented to them. So how will we even get to that stage? Because there seems to be a hurdle in giving Tobago that, for want of a better word, that power.
You're right. That hurdle starts with Tobagonians. We are putting up our own hurdles. When you have Tobagonians who are under the PNM party, singing from the PNM handbook that the bill is good enough for us, we should pass it. We know that they are hurdles. When we hear someone like our chief secretary speaking all type of gibberish, one day it's autonomy, next day it's self-determination, the other day is independence, that's a hurdle. When a person is confused, they are seldom to act on the information before them. When a person is clear in their mind, they will act decisively, and positively in their own favor. That's why I'm saying this is not something that we can rush. This is something that we have to take a year to 2 years doing, going every nook, every cranny, ensure every single one has a viewpoint on this. We ought to be doing surveys, asking people, training people. So if we have independence, these are our rights. If we have autonomy, these are our rights. If we have an association, these are our rights. And we should present it.
So do you think the process was rushed? If we're looking at from in the 1970s to now, and I hear you in terms of consultations, but you had former political leaders, you had different persons coming together. You had the efforts of Mr. London, you had the efforts of the late Hotroy Charles, you had the efforts of A.N.R. Robinson, Dr. Murray, and we can go on and on. And people would have been consulted over all these years. The documents would have changed in some areas it would have been held true to its existence. So are you saying that the process was rushed? Because you are making the point it should not be rushed. Do you think that the process was rushed?
The process was rushed, but there was no will in the process to expose Tobagonians to self-determination. It's like you taking your child to the ice cream shop and you are saying to the child, you want coconut ice cream because you love that, And I say, it has coconut ice cream here. You want that? Because you want to get a lick. Not the child,
Okay.
And as soon as I buy it for the child, is you licking it. I say, look, let me lick some more of that. That's your ice cream. They are giving us what they like. And they're pushing on us through persons who have a type of authoritative presence. And they say, these people do the consultation. Those things are not right. If we are going to have the discussion, it must be genuine, it must be full, and it must be unencumbered and not influenced from anyone outside. No one from Trinidad should come here and say they're presenting Prime Minister. No. We had to run them out of town. This is our business. We must decide for ourselves. It's an inalienable right, a right we were born with. We can't divorce ourselves from that right. 1,000 years could pass. We still have that right in Tobago. It's a legal, fundamental right.
So, and again, I'm trying to get us to the place where we are at because everybody has their viewpoint, etc. But the situation we are in now is that we answer to Trinidad. Right? They set the pace for us. Yes, we have the THA Act, etc., but we fall under central government and the powers rest within them. So given the fact that we may feel we have these rights or we may interpret this, the changes has to be done by Parliament. Yes?
Yes.
Whoever is the sitting government of the day. And I would have mentioned, and we all know that we have had past political parties sitting in the government seat. And in the request for internal self-government, the bills, etc., were presented and it would have failed. Why do you think this keeps failing?
Because the people of Tobago, one, they are not happy with what is placed on the table, deep in their hearts, through our ancestors, from since we were divorced from having executive powers in August of 1876. That's when they took away the executive powers in the House of Assembly. we have been trying to get back those executive powers, those lawmaking powers, those decision-making powers. We have never gotten back, even to this day. We have the House, we have this, people dress up like myself, we go there. We pretend that we are politicians and all we do is play games. So we're debating what? You know? And so we are not happy. We want to have the right to choose. If we are given the right to choose, then Tobago will make a choice and will stand by that choice.
But as it stands, Mr. Duke, we don't have that right. So looking at where we are today, how do we get, because the proposals were there, and whether who would have drafted it, come up with it, who reject, etc. Something was in Parliament, and it's there because Parliament has the power to say yay or nay, and they are guided, of course, by whether it's 2/3 majority, simple majority, etc. And no matter who has been sitting in the government seat, the bill, whatever form it would have been presented in then, keeps being rejected. And the question is, why do you think they are the ones in Parliament to say yea or nay, whether we would have been part of the consultation, etc. in whatever form, it keeps failing? Do we think that at some point, whether it's PNM, whether it's PDP, whoever sits in government will say, okay, let me grant you your request. Let me take this seriously and let's really work something out and give it to you.
I like your latter suggestion. If the PDP gets into office, I guarantee you that that will be on the legislative agenda and very high up. It will be among the first 3 bills to be discussed. All right? And leaders are made a particular way by God. Right? You could be the head of a class, but you're not the leader.
Right.
Right? You could be the head of a line, you're not the leader.
Right.
A leader is a servant. That's why he leads. He demonstrates and he leads, so people know exactly what to do. He doesn't tell people walk and he's driving. He walks and he follows. Right? That's how you know a leader is in the particular geographical location. The country, Trinidad and Tobago, and the world, the Caribbean, they lack leaders. The day Watson Solomon Duke lands himself in Trinidad as a representative for Tobago, East or West, wherever, that is the day change will come to the Parliament. When I come, I enter there with my respect, right? I'm a senior man in the country. I know junior man. I'm in the business so long, right? And I know exactly what I want. I'm clear. I want Tobago to choose. It's not for me to tell Tobago, this good for you, that good for you.
Okay.
Having a discussion means you're part of the solution. And if you're part of the solution, it's likely that the solution will be backed by you. I know servant leadership. I spent years doing that. Even when I won, I demonstrated servant leadership. I allowed my colleagues who were bereft of any idea. I said, look, continue. Although feel I'm the bad one, continue. I left them there. So they can pursue the plans undisturbed and they're making a mess. Tobago needs to put its best foot forward politically. You can't guess that. It's not guesswork in Trinidad, you know. The first thing I would fix in Trinidad would be the Trinidad and Tobago Act of 1887. That still stands. That colonial act, I will fix that act with its amendments. It was amended in 1898 to make Tobago a ward of itself. An abnormality, an oxymoron.
But when you say you fix it, you see, it's easy for individuals to talk like this, but when you get in, the organization or the institution operates a particular way. So though you may go in with all good intention and you may say you will change this, can you really change it? Because you have to get the support of others, and see in your vision and understand why the change has to be made. And that's why, you know, we see bills failing because there's no buy-in. So when you take that responsibility and you are confidently saying you will change it, are you sure?
Well, let me tell you this, right? Watson Solomon Duke. Should I accept the position of running for Tobago, East or West, and the people give me their vote, they will know their vote means for me to go down to Trinidad and change it. Should there be a 50-50 in Trinidad, and I'm the deciding factor, everyone knows in Trinidad, I'm supporting no one for Prime Minister. I've tried that in 2 places, and I was disappointed significantly. I tried it in the PSC, I lost tremendously. I tried it in THE, and I lost tremendously. I am not going to make either Kamala or Dr. Rowley, or anyone he puts there as Prime Minister. I am Prime Minister. The thing about life is, no one wants to be in opposition. It's a long time. 5 years in opposition, it's a long time. They will come. They will join. As the Westminster system dictates, the Prime Minister is the one who governs Parliament. When I'm inside there, I don't grant charge and I'm in charge, you know.
Right.
When I'm in charge, I'm in charge. And so I'm saying, we're going to repeal and replace the Trinidad and Tobago Act to make it a more modern act that reflects the true Trinidad and Tobago as it is. It's an old slave act that refers to us as a colony, the British colony of Tobago and the British colony of Trinidad. So in fact, in law, we are still British colonies. That's the only place that Trinidad and Tobago was formed and was never revisited. We have to fix that 1887 Act. Once you define Tobago there and you define Trinidad, then it's now easy for the Constitution to breathe. The Constitution, like the Bible begins and says, in the beginning, God. It never tells you where God comes from. The Constitution begins by saying Trinidad and Tobago. It doesn't tell you where Trinidad and Tobago came from. To know it came from, you have to go back.
Right.
And so once we address those two issues, you have to put a little bit in the Constitution, because Tobago is really an island of its own and a country of its own, and Trinidad will be a country of its own as defined by the newly constructed and amended, etc., Trinidad and Tobago Act. We must be countries of our own. As countries of our own, we are partnering for economic reasons, security reasons, etc. That is what we want, and I will pursue that. I have the intellect, I have the experience, and I have the ability to manage people. I've managed over 80,000 persons in Trinidad and Tobago under the PSA, and under NATUC, National Trade Union Center, I represented over 300,000 persons, working people. So I know to deal with different persons of different ethnicity, different religious background, different social status, whether it be money or environment, etc. So I'm unbothered by that. One thing I know, when I go down there, I represent a developed country who the people have developed in their minds and know what they want.
Right. And once I understand your vision and where you are taking this in terms of allowing the people to have that vote, or that right to vote, reality is, and I will compare it similar to the consultation process, there are people who just wouldn't follow through. So even though you ask the Begonians to vote, there's no guarantee that the vote really represents everyone and what they want. And you see it, I mean, in when we go out and we vote, we exercise our right and a political party wins and they say the voice of the people have spoken. That may not necessarily be so, because there are lots of people who don't exercise their franchise. They have an opinion, but they do not go out there and vote. So how can we safely say that once we do this process, it means therefore that this is what the people of Tobago want? And I'm making that point against the backdrop of there have been consultations, there have been times where the quote unquote the powers that be would sit in a room, they advertise the consultation, and a handful of people show up.
That's right.
You know, to be people who see the need to make the time to be part of the process. But we all hold our own consultations on the block in the grocery, but when it's to formalize it, people don't follow through. So how can you be so sure that even with that voting process, that you can safely say, well, Tobago will get what it really wants?
Well, genuine consultation requires time, right? It then requires information. All the information allows persons to make good and sensible decisions must be placed on the table. And also requires giving persons the opportunity to listen, to dissect that conversation, and to participate in deciding on that matter. You can't come to persons today and as the consultation finishes, you have answers already. That is not the case. That is a sham.
Right.
They go in a place with their friends and their colleagues practicing skullduggery in the most vulgar form, open skullduggery, inviting their friends, whoever they call up, come and sit down here. Give them solo and bread to drink and eat.
Right.
And then they come and sit, have consultation. Real consultation means, all right, the assemblymen would go off to Tobago, and we will call the village council, the sports group, everyone, to a discussion.
Right.
And it will be 3 or 4 discussions of that nature in the same area. People must say, read it, discuss it in a family, come back next week. You have TV program. It's a campaign, a full campaign where thousands or millions are spent explaining to people the differences between independence, autonomy, and an association.
Right.
When the day come to vote, those who refuse to vote, they have chosen. They have abstained.
Right.
In voting, there are always three types.
Yes.
For, against, and abstentions. You must always count the abstentions.
Right.
People have a right to abstain. And so they would have spoken.
Right.
We have to accept that.
And Mr. Duke, you know, we have to cut our time short this morning because, of course, we have another guest in studio who's also waiting to share her perspective of what would have transpired earlier this week. But I must thank you, of course, for always being quite open and sharing with us and allowing the people of Tobago to hear your voice and your viewpoint. And I would just leave you with a minute just to, you know, maybe talk to your viewers. I know that you also have been campaigning and getting ready for whatever is to come. I don't know if you have any updates for us there as you continue to do your campaigning.
Well, yes, I would want to say to Tobago that this time around is very critical, not just because people are looking to be elected. The issues are very critical.
Right.
We need to send our best people to Trinidad. The best minds, the bravest persons, those who have the most experience to Trinidad. You can't take a new pair of boots and send them to Trinidad. Neither can you take an old pair of boots who have never scored anything for Tobago and you put them back in Trinidad and you want to win.
Right.
You have to take someone with a track record. And if you look at Watson Duke, I'm like FedEx, DHL, UPS, I deliver.
Mr. Duke, you come up with the strangest and most interesting analogies. Every time I have a conversation with you, I must smile when you bring out those analogies. So thank you so much, sir, for taking time off and sitting with me this morning. Viewers, we go for a quick break. When we return, our second guest would sit with me this morning as we continue to have this very interesting conversation.
Ho ho! Delta Distributors Christmas special is here. Choose from our special meat packages at unbelievable prices. Ho ho! Perfect for your holiday feasts. Hurry! Limited stocks. Order now. 11 pounds chicken, 5 pounds pork, 5 pounds turkey, 1 picnic ham, 1 liter pear jacks, only $500. Ho ho! Order now at deltechdistributors.com. Call or WhatsApp 359-5040 or 237-0102. Only $20 delivery or come into our main road Argyle store. Ho ho!
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Tobago.
Hey, Monday the 16th, don't come out.
We here to celebrate Tobago. These are part of the Tobago Day celebration.
On Monday, 16 December, all THA offices will be closed as the Assembly is conducting an island-wide cleanup.
We want people to cooperate and really clean up the island. You put your stuff out in front of your home, not by the neighbor's home. We'll come and we'll take it up.
And it's happening on Robinson Day, the 16th of December, 2024.
We truly are a clean people.
Are you ready to move in there?
Everywhere getting clean out.
Fantastic. Well, I will be there.
Get ready for the most magical event of the season. The Tobago Gospel Promoters proudly presents Christmas Village. Christmas Village. Everything Christmas at the Scarborough Esplanade, Tobago. From the 18th to the 21st of December, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily. 4 nights of live entertainment. Los Cantantes de Jesus. And from Tobago, El Corazon de Parang, Blessed Messenger, Janex, Bijon Pier, choirs, steel bands, and dance from across Tobago, and our featured drama production. It's a Christmas production you don't want to miss. From toys to curtains, wines, ginger beer, cake, and a kid zone. 4 days of everything Christmas. For all interested vendors, please contact 392-4060. And for general information on Christmas Village, 786-8736.
We coming together, me and my family, meeting together.
This Christmas, believe in magic. Enjoy our comforting deals on furniture that'll leave your loved ones in awe. Only at Standard.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Thank you, viewers, for staying with us, and welcome back. I'm your host this morning on GMT. Good morning, Tobago, Natalie Seeley Richardson. And it is 9 a.m., but we are not done. We are continuing our conversations, and we are talking about what would have transpired in Parliament on Monday and how it concerns us in Tobago. And sitting with me this morning is the political leader of the Innovative Democratic Alliance, Dr. Denise Tsoi-a-Fatt Angus. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. And good morning, Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, and whoever else is out there listening.
Oh yes, the world. We are talking to the world this morning. Yes. And I want to start you off exactly where I began with Mr. Duke in asking, what is your definition of internal self-government? And do you think the people of Tobago, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, really understand what that means for us?
Well, I think we need to even go further and ask, why do we even have government? Why do we want the wherewithal to determine our own future? And when you look at governments, why do we have governments? To create law, maintain order,
yes,
facilitate development towards a prosperous nation. But is it the government that creates prosperity? Clearly not.
Right.
The people create prosperity. Correct. And the challenge we are having today, and it's not just in Tobago, the challenge we are having across the country is that government has built itself in a way that it is seen as the forefront only of development, and therefore the people are not being allowed to contribute meaningfully to the prosperity of the nation.
Right.
And so because we have authoritarian governments where cabinet rules, in Tobago, Executive Council rules, and you don't have the voice of the people in there. That is why we have so much oil and gas money. And when you consider how much money has passed through this nation, we really have not prospered as a people. So the first thing we need to do is to begin looking at the restructuring of government across Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
The Trinidad and Tobago central government needs to be restructured. The Tobago executive needs to be restructured. Without that, we could give Tobago autonomy, how we decide, however it is, the dangling 6.9%, whatever it is. Without that, Tobago will never truly prosper because you always have that authoritarian governance model sitting on top of us and sitting on top of the people of this nation.
Right.
So when we did the constitutional reform go around, you know, the people were quite vocal about what they wanted to see. They wanted to have a say in governance. They wanted to not just choose representatives to go, but to know that they could meaningfully go to their representatives, and the representatives will listen to them and make the difference in parliament. That's not what we see. You send representatives in there and they become just mouthpieces for parties. And that has to change. One of the ways that you change that is to ensure that whatever party gets in there, that they have a smaller cabinet, likewise smaller executive, and then a larger number of non-executive or non-cabinet members who are then responsible for creating the laws, responsible for doing some level of oversight onto the cabinet and ensuring that that works in balance. You know, right now you have cabinet, whoever members as part of oversight committee that can work himself to himself. Well, we don't even have that in Tobago. And then having an elected Senate, again, another level of representation that people could go to. An elected Senate that will be responsible for dealing with the allocation across the nation so that no place is being left behind. They may determine, because when you're looking at the prosperity of the nation, you can't just say, okay, Trinidad, you be prosperous, Tobago, you be prosperous. It's the nation. And so that elected Senate will look and evaluate the performance and, you know, the development in different areas and say, well, Tobago is definitely much further behind than Port of Spain or where, than Trinidad. Let us give Tobago the resources they need for the development budget. Let us empower them there. And when Tobago finally rises to the level of, you know, development, you then say, okay, let's cut back here. We can now take some of that development money and go to Toco or wherever and lift their levels of development. When you begin doing that, we rise as a nation. You know, you wouldn't have the fighting this here, and some being left behind. No one will be left behind.
And that may be a model to aspire to, but looking at what we have and the conversations of today, if one of your party members were to come to you and said, I don't understand this internal self-government thing going on. What is internal self-government and what does that mean for Tobago? How would you respond?
Because your internal self-government is your right to determine how you want to develop as a people. And this is not about an executive council. It's as a people. Okay. So when we went through and the people in the community said, okay, I want to be empowered to do what I need to do in my community because the THA takes too long. They play too much politics with the money there. And so just give us our money, give us some guidelines on how we're going to do it. And we want to deal with ourselves. That's empowering people to be self-determined because they get to choose their priorities in communities. So simply put, that is really what it is. You know, having the wherewithal, having the authority to decide how you want to treat with yourself. But I'm going back to that situation because if we are to ensure that we contribute meaningfully to the country through, you know, an elected Senate decision in how they appropriate funds, then you have to be able to define what Tobago is. Yeah? And I saw a recent article about whether Trinidad would fare better not having Tobago. And there was a sort of map there. And I asked myself, anybody looking at the map will know that Trinidad will not fare better without Tobago. You know, we always ask the question in the reverse, but I'm happy they asked it that way that time. Because if you look at the map, Trinidad will not fare better without Tobago.
Because there's a view by many citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that, you know, that this autonomy bill, this self-government bill is Tobago wanting to be fully independent, do their own thing, and you hear the attitudes even from right here, where the talk is Tobago can't survive, or let them go and let them then crawl back to us kind of thing. And that's why I asked, do people really understand what Tobago is asking for, what this internal self-government is about? Because I don't see the marriage between that attitude if you understand what the people of Tobago are asking for. And then I must ask you, because the thought came earlier today, because you hear this whole conversation referred to as internal self-government, you hear autonomy bill, you hear this. Is it one of the same, or are there, some technicalities where there are differences and we really need to be using one term?
I think form follows function. Yeah? And I think we have to determine the details of what we really want before we label it.
Right.
And I think that is where these bills are falling short, because we have not truly determined the nature of what it should be in a modern day democracy, because what we have now is quite authoritarian. It is not working. It has not worked for us. And it is time that we look at something different. Countries across the world are recognizing that prosperity comes when you bring the people into the conversation. And that bill did not bring the people into the conversation.
Which bill?
Those bills that are there.
The two that would...
Yeah, they don't bring the bills
amendment to the Constitution
Correct.
And the Tobago Island government
Correct.
bill.
Neither does the government we have bring the people into the conversation. We have a sort of something they call local government in Trinidad, but they're not really empowered. Again, we put labels on, but we have not dealt with properly how do you ensure that local government is empowered to create that prosperity that would contribute to the nation, being a developed status. And so you have to look at bringing the communities into that conversation as what we would call a community bill of rights, where the community also has the right towards developing itself, getting its resources, monetizing its assets in its community.
Right. So
I want to give you an example why the community is not involved.
Right.
Easter weekend is a big weekend for Tobago.
Yes.
Mount Pleasant and also Buku. Big things going on. You have car show, everything else. All of a sudden in the last week, we are hearing that Buju Banton is coming, a gospel concert on the Friday, something else on Saturday. The THA has imposed itself on a set of community festivals already established that will be bringing in
I don't know the dates, but is that the same Easter weekend?
It's the same Easter weekend. Yeah.
Okay. But
already
those are
established Easter weekend.
Right. But
now,
that program, that event being done by Festivals Commission, is it a daytime program, or is it different times? Is it really conflicting with what's happening? And I'm just asking because I didn't pay attention to all of that.
This is not a timing issue. This is a people's pocket issue.
Okay.
Yeah. The way the economy is right now, people will not have the additional resources to say, okay, I'm going to my children, the family festivals, I'll go to that, I'll spend the money on the children, and I'm going to Buju Banton. People will now be forced to make a choice. Am I going to not attend those other traditional activities? I went last year. I could not go this year. And therefore, I will go to Buju Banton because that is what I'm saving my money to go to. So you're forcing people to make choices in an already, small economy where this is where anybody knows this is where Buku and Mount Pleasant make their largest income so that they can support their own communities throughout the year. Now, that is what you really want to foster. I have no problem with Buju Banton, I have no problem with the gospel concert. Bring it at a different time when it is a low period for the island, and therefore you're truly bringing guests as an enticement to come to Tobago, but an already established one. Now, the question is, can Buku and Mount Pleasant go to their representative and make representation and have any significant change happening with that? No, it doesn't allow for
But
that.
can any of us do that anyway in Trinidad and Tobago?
Exactly. That is my exact point. Why we need constitutional reform at the government level, in central government, and also in Tobago. We saw this recent activity where, you know, someone woke up and said, well, there's a holiday in the Tobago House of Assembly on Monday.
Right.
Yes. I have no problem with a holiday, because during this Christmas time, administrators would usually make adjustments for people to have a day off and go and do their Christmas activities,
Right.
you know, but not to shut down the whole thing.
But it's just,
ideally
and I
with
don't want us to
process.
stray, but
No, but it is part of
No,
it.
and before you continue, I'm just clarifying, because I didn't hear the add in detail, the promo, and I know it's supposed to be a cleanup day. You refer to it as a holiday, and I know they said THA offices will be closed, but did they describe it as a holiday? I mean, we can interpret it as such, but did they just call it a holiday? And I'm just asking, because sometimes,
What
you
is
know,
a holiday? A day off from work, right? To do with something else.
well, it depends
Okay.
on one's interpretation of it.
So you've had a holiday in the THA. You said it's to go clean up. By what decision, what process was used to make that decision? That's similar to we won't have the change on the coat of arms. One morning you have one person wake up and say, well, no, we're changing the coat of arms. Again, government is not working for us if you don't bring the people in to be able to have a voice and participate in the decisions that would work towards being a prosperous nation.
And the last time we sat together, I know you have been promoting that Bill of Rights model. And again, I always want to come back to, yes, that may be an excellent proposal and an alternative, but where we are from in the 1970s, 1977 to now, the people of Tobago, through its representation, would have been through Mr. London, through Mr. A.N.R. Robinson, Dr. Murray, all these different forms, the late Hotroy Charles, and I would have told our form, I guess, something quite similar, that consultations, whether you agree that the process was faulty, whether it's 10 people or 100 people, consultations took place. You had, people of academia, people who are passionate about Tobago coming together, meeting others, and a lot of effort was put into this bill. It would have been presented in different forms through different individuals, and again, the sitting government of the day would have turned it down. We saw what happened again on Monday. And I keep asking the question, which sitting government will really give the people of Tobago that power that it is yearning for? And this has been just, going on and on. Will my children, when they become adults, still having conversations like this? So yes, there may be other models we can look at, but we are not there. We are here, and this is what we have. And, who will really give it to us, Dr. Angus?
Nobody's going to give it to us. Yeah. Tobagonians have to come together and say clearly, this is what we want as a one Tobago.
Right.
And then treat with whoever is sitting in Parliament.
Right.
The challenge has been that we have not gotten, number one, we have not gotten to being in that way. And number two, again, we are trying to work and tweak a model that has not worked in ages.
Right.
It has not worked. So I see this as an opportunity for us truly to look at it with new eyes. I mean, we keep talking about the long journey, but throughout that long journey, the world has evolved. The jobs that our young people have now or want to have now are not the jobs of 20 years ago.
Right.
And so while the world is revolving around us, we are still trying to work with an archaic type of governance structure to govern an evolving world. And that is why we continue to have the disconnect. That is why our economy is not going anywhere. And that is why the people are just, frustrated, and they're not even sure, what they're frustrated about. But what is clear is that they want the opportunity to have the resources closer to the ground. And once we begin doing that, and it's nothing new, it's being done other areas in the world right now.
Right.
Because governments are grappling with this issue. How do we move out of being stagnated? How do we move out of, and keep up with the times, the evolution around us, artificial intelligence and all those things.
Right.
And they're recognizing that you have to place emphasis on your communities, empower your communities. And when you do that, this issue of crime is going to start to deal with itself. This issue of productivity is going to deal with itself. This issue of unemployment will deal with itself, because the community will be employing the people in the community to do box trains or whatever that they want to do, and not having people from Trinidad or from anywhere else coming into Alami Road to do any work. You understand? The people in that area will decide for themselves, okay, do we have the resources in here that we could treat with it? Do we have to look outside of the community we are in? Where do we need to get the resources?
And as we look
so the
to wrap up,
community will prioritize that and deal with that.
I must pick your brain on this one, because this is one of the other comments you hear sometimes when autonomy for Tobago is discussed, and I would like to know what is your perspective on it. Do you think that this whole autonomy and self-determination for Tobago keeps being shut down because the central government wants to keep their reins on the energy resources found offshore Tobago? Do you think it boils down to just simply that?
Of course, that's part of the obvious need to do it. Yeah, and it's not Tobago's wanting more autonomy and wanting to be defined. It's not about saying, okay, well, Trinidad, go your way. We have all this.
Right.
No, we want to know that, yes, you are dealing with, things that are part of our waters. Let us sit down together. Bring us to the negotiating table together, so that we together, equality of status, can decide what is best for the country. The country is not Trinidad and Port of Spain, Trinidad and Chaguanas. The country is Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, if we are given the privilege of understanding, okay, you are on that side, and it can be done through the median line. Many other countries have done it without being affected by international law. And therefore, if we do that and we understand what is in Tobago, what is part of Trinidad, and we make that up as part of the country, then when negotiations are being done in waters that are on our side, you don't just ignore us, bring us to the table. Let us understand what negotiations are taking place. How is it going to affect us in our backyard? 11 miles north of, 30 miles north of Trinidad. It's in Tobago. You can't fool anybody with that. And therefore, it just brings us in to be a part of the conversation. Don't shut us out. And those bills were meant to shut us out. They were meant to keep us in a welfare type of state. And the current construct of the executive keeps us in a type of welfare state. It doesn't matter how much money, how many 30 pieces of silver they would give us dangling under that 6.98%. We would still be in a type of welfare state if we don't look at the structures under which we will receive that money, and that money is allocated in terms of development. If we don't do that, then that money will always stay at the level of the executive council, and the man on the street will still continue not being able to put proper food on the table for his family.
And viewers, you know, when we have these types of discussions, the time really gets going and it will never be enough. So Dr. Angus, thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning and of course sharing your viewpoint with our viewers on Tobago Updates Television. Viewers, my admonition to us is not just to repeat what we hear our politicians are saying, because it has become a very politicized topic, but read your history, learn for yourselves, understand, ask questions, and not just become, you know, a recording machine. You hear a piece of something, you hear a piece of something, and then that becomes your viewpoint, your perspective. Understand what Tobago is asking for, and I'm also talking to those of you who live outside of Tobago. It's very critical because, again, you know, I would often go through the comments when we have programs like this and even on other media houses, and you know, you can tell a lot of people has no clue what Tobago is asking for and they have no understanding, yet they are sharing very strong comments in a public space. So let's understand, and I always like to say, to know where we're going, sometimes we have to go back into history a bit so we have a better footing and then we understand the move forward. So let's do that. We deserve what is best for us. We are a people, whether you were born here or not. Once you live here, I say I am Trinbagonian and I'm a Tobagonian by both, right? And I live here and this is the home of my children and I want what is best for them. So this is something I pay attention to very closely, and I implore you, likewise, read for yourselves, understand, and don't just read the viewpoint of one particular group. Look at all of them, compare them, and ask the right questions. So let's see where this goes from here. We would have heard from most of the major political parties, their viewpoint, alternatives to what exists, etc. But I want to remind us, as a people of Tobago, we deserve better and we deserve what is best for us. Let's really come together and ensure that Trinidad understands what we want. And it's quite interesting that, you know, these bills are always presented, and I know Dr. Angus, we mentioned this quite briefly in our last interview or sit down together, where it's always near an election time this bill pops up, no matter who is sitting. And think about it. I don't know why. Maybe you may know why, viewers. So think about it and let us stop giving people power to use us when it's convenient. And I'll end there. Thank you so much for staying with us and staying tuned. I know we ran late this morning, but you stuck with us and we really appreciate it. It is Friday. Have a very safe weekend and remember to look out for each other. Tobago is a beautiful place. Let us be a beautiful people as well. Thank you.